in today's episode, we're going to build my new favorite drone together. So it is an open racer with an O3 camera in it. And in today's episode, we are just going to build the frame, go over the frame, and I'm going to explain you everything about it. So here are all your carbon. You have 2 braces, 4 arms, 2 plates, the canopy, and all the hardware. The braces are 4 millimeters thick. The arms are the fatty arms, which means they're a little bit thicker right here. The regular arms are a little bit thinner, but they can break more easily as well. This is a 5 millimeter arm, so it's a lot of carbon. I haven't broke one yet. The 2 plates, here we have a top plate with nuts, the press nut, and here the bottom plate with a battery strap cut out. The top plate is 2.5 millimeter, the bottom plate is 2.5 millimeter. Oh yeah, the bottom plate is recessed for the screws, so it's nice and flush. So here we go. So that's the way, that will be on the bottom where it's recessed. Do not use it that way, okay? The top plate has a back, which is curved, and a front, which is flat, and with extra carbon, so it gives rigidity. The pod, it's 3D printed of TPU. It's extremely strong. I have dropped the drone down a canyon 200 feet, and the electronics were still in perfect condition. So I'm gonna show you here. This is a drone here. That's a guy I'm flying at the moment. So the pod is extremely strong. It's protecting your expensive electronics, and I think this is why it's one of my favorite frame, and also for many other reasons which we will talk about. The only thing I broke is a brace here, but I taped it with electrical tape, and I crushed it again, and I haven't had any issue, okay? So it's a tough frame. Also, it's a true square. It's a perfect square. You will see once we put it together. So it's very well balanced. It's very simple frame. It has no resonance. Like, you don't need a big tune. A stock Betaflight tune is perfect. Maybe fix the filter. This frame was ordered from CNC Drones. When you order from CNC Drones, I believe it's $35 for the frame without the pod, and it comes and without the standoff here. So everything that you see here, the carbon and all the hardware, is $35. The standoff, the 10 millimeter standoff right here, you need to get it on your own. You need to buy it. And the pod is extra as well, so you need either to 3D print it yourself or order it from a friend, somebody who has a 3D printer. The other option is to order the frame from a 533 website, and it comes with the carbon, the pod, but not the brace. The brace is extra, okay? And it comes with a hardware as well. The only issue with the 533 is that they don't give you the right standoff. They give you the standoff for the analog version, which means you have 2 10mm in the front and 2 25mm in the back. It won't fit this pod, okay? So you need to provide yourself standoff, and the brace are extra. So you have different options, okay? I want to show you also from cncdrone.com, which is Canadian-based company. CNC drones. So we're gonna go to the 5-inch frame, and here, open racer. And the carbon colors are, so for an extra $5 you get blue, green, pink, gold, and silver. So you can choose if you wanna sup your drone, make it look flashy and cool. But in my case, it's utilitarian. I don't need the fanciness. I just need it to be strong and to fly amazingly. Okay, so let's put the drone together now. We're gonna put the pod away for a second here. Also, the battery holder is extra. You need to print it yourself or order it from a supplier, okay? So let's start with the frame. Okay, so the way it works, you're going to use a 10 millimeter. Is it 10 or 12? Let's check. 533. Here we go. And let's go to frame. Hold on. And let's go to open racer. And so you need 12 millimeter screws, 4 of them. Okay, also what I need to tell you is that you can mount it's very versatile. You can mount so 30 by 30 stack, 20 by 20 stack, or you can mount a all-in-one whoop style stack, okay, 30 by 30. So you have many options. It's very versatile. I recommend a 20 by 20. This is what Lemon, the frame designer, is recommending, and I understand why. The 30 by 30 might be too large for the pod, and the fit of the pod might be touching the ESCs, so it might get in the way. I think a 20 by 20 is probably your best option, or maybe a all-in-one whoop style, okay? This frame needs the stack screw first, the stack screw. If, in case of a crash, you need to access your stack screws, you need to disassemble the entire drone, okay? So you don't have access to the stack screw from the bottom plate, okay? So for that reason, I use titanium screws, and that's what's shipped with a frame. So stack screw first, because once again, there is no access to the stack screws, to the stack screws once the drone is put together. Okay, number 2. Let's do them all, and then we're going to tie them all. So I'm using the 20 by 20 mounting option, okay? That's up to you. And then the last one. So titanium screws, and I'm using a metal nut, okay? I'm not using the plastic nut because I want it to be really strong. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to make everything super tight. So you're gonna use a plier and give it a good torque, okay? Here we go. Here we go. Voila. You can go on with your bolt, okay? So it goes this way. The battery will go this way. You have the cut for the strap, you see, front, back, and then you have the cutout for the strap. Here we go. And make sure you put the recess on the bottom. So now we can put the 12 millimeter screws through the frame. So just give it 1 or 2 turns to hold it together. Here we go. Here we go. This frame is very easy to build, okay? It's not very complicated like a lot of frame on the market. It's very simple design, but very efficient. So now the arms. So it's a 1 screw removal arm, and then you have a notch that goes into the little screw here, and it will hold it in place, okay? So now you want to put your arm in place. Here we go. And you're going to use the 16 millimeter screw with a flathead 16 millimeter right here. And you're going to insert, okay, 1. Where are my screws? But 1, 2. What happened to my screws? Oh, shit. Shit. I used the wrong one. Okay. I use a 16 millimeters instead of the 12 millimeter. So that's why I could not find my screws. Here we go. Voila. Did I screw this one up too? Yeah. So I need a 12 millimeter here. And then this one is right. Here we go. And this one is good too. Nope, that's the wrong one. Make sure you use the 12 millimeter here on the outside, and the 6 on the inside, and the 16 millimeters on the outside hole. Okay. Hold on. One arm, and now the last arm. Voila. Okay. So we're just putting this together. I'm doing a dry fit, but before to finish the quad, I will use a Loctite on all of my nut because I want it to be as strong as possible. Okay. So here we go. We have the quad. Make sure you give it an extra torque so it's really strong, and make sure you use Loctite as well. Okay. Voila. So now, as you can see, it's a true square. So it flies amazingly. It's very well balanced. Okay. And it's very simple to put together. Now we're going to put the standoff. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now all that's left to do is to insert your pod on top of your standoff and secure it with 4 screws with a button head screw. Okay. And you need a 2.5 millimeter driver for this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here we go. So as you can see here, the pod has a little cutout at the bottom to give some airflow to your electronics, but it's very well protected. It's a very well designed pod. The O3, the pod doesn't get in the frame of the O3, and it's protected as well. It's a little bit recessed to the back, so you get very good protection for your expensive camera. Okay. So we're done here with the frame. As you can see, that was very quick. It took about 10 minutes. It's beautiful. I love the way it looks, but most importantly, I love the way it flies. So look, let's put this on the scale now, and let's see. I'm gonna show you the best part about it. Here we go. So the frame put together is 108 grams, so it's extremely light. Now, if you add the 2 braces, this is optional. It comes to 121 grams. And if you're using a battery pad, this is again optional. It comes to 150 grams. Okay, so overall, it's pretty light frame, and you can get it light as you wish. Okay, by adding or removing items. In my case, the whole quad is 390 grams, and that's with a 2020 stack, and it's all finished put together. Okay, and I like to use extra material. I like to use extra wire, put a little bit more solder. So I use a lot of zip tie, a lot of tape, and I use like arm protectors, like the feet on each arm. I like to keep my my quad safe and secure. Okay, so I'm not the most efficient builder, but my quad is very strong. So anyway, overall, as you can see, awesome frame, very quick to put together, and easy built, not very complicated. Anyone can do it. I think it's a great frame for beginner. You have a lot of space in the pod for all your electronics. Like, it doesn't look like it, but everything fits perfectly. And also, like I said, there's no overheating issue. There's a lot of flows, a lot of venting in it. And you have you see, it's designed for the O3 antenna, so the O3 antenna is well protected. And yeah, it's a lovely frame. You have access to your USB. Here we go, guys. Now we have built the Open Racer 5-inch frame for O3. If you love it, subscribe. If you like it, give me the thumbs up. If you have any question, leave a comment below. I will be happy to answer any of your questions. And in the next episode, we will put the electronics together. But until next time, guys, enjoy flying, love flying, repeat, send it, have fun, watch out for the Karen, and keep loving the hobby, keep loving the world. I love you. Peace. FPV. Yes. Drones. Yes. That's what it's all about. Having some fun.